can we have a bit of fun? Because it's been a little bit since we've had on these lovely ladies. And it will remain to be seen if they win their own award. I don't necessarily think that Diamond and Silk are going to win the 5 Eggs Award today. They very well might. But it remains to be seen. Excellent, Bethany. So maybe get your eggs ready. Although we've got a lot of contenders today. We've got Sean Hannity mid-sneeze. We got Dan Bongino being dumb twice in one show. It could happen. But meanwhile, let's go. Diamond and Silk, Biden's withdrawal from Afghanistan. Now, I know you guys want to hear what, geopolitical minds like Colin Powell and John Bolton, all the people who got us into the Afghanistan war and kept us in the Iraq war longer than we needed to be as well. I understand that you'd want to hear their take on things, if only to watch them sweat through the Schadenfreude. But there are few keen foreign policy minds as sharp and as I guess dull and rounded as an eggshell as Diamond and Silk. But we'll see. I'm very excited. They're going to explain to us. This is Diamond and Silk. They don't want us to talk about Afghanistan. By the way, this is the next talking point. Remember how we talked about how like woke becomes one for a while, and it's coming back too. Like they wave it through. Like there's little waves of woke, and every 7th woke wave is the big one. That for a while it was like they had to go after BLM, and they'll pick one thing. Oh, look at that. We got a new Patreon. Thank you so much. Yay. So in this particular instance, I think it's Hannity. Yeah. Hannity's thing is never forget Biden failed America. And that's the same thing. It's about Afghanistan. The problem they have right now is that everybody's ready to move on from Afghanistan. Nobody was buying the bullshit that it should have been easier. The people who were killed in the evacuation, our soldiers and our Navy personnel that were killed, and the Afghans that were killed in this, have been in the memory hole of America, added to all the other people who were killed in Afghanistan. They are not considered secondarily kind of Benghazi special, even by most Republicans, statistically, and that's what they're up against. So you're seeing a big push in right-wing media to try and keep that volleyball up in the air, and it isn't working, and it's driving them a bit nuts. So let's see why don't they want us to talk about Afghanistan, Diamond and Silk?
That when it comes to Afghanistan, what the
yes, when it comes, I'm sorry, what? When it comes to Afghanistan, I'm not familiar with this place. Perhaps there's a whole other war front I was not aware of.
And see, what I'm looking at when it comes to Afghanistan, what the
Afghanistan. I missed the M on the end of it as well. Well, that should tell you right out of the gate that Newsmax is only bringing you the most, I don't know what.
Queen media is trying to do. They're trying to silence us. They don't want us to talk about it no more, and they're trying to get us to look another way. Oh.
Well, we did have a hurricane, and they were concerned about that. I know that upset Trump. We do have other issues to deal with domestically, and they're not trying to, they've just moved on. Arguably, I would say there should be more of a conversation about what we were doing in Afghanistan for as long. I'm sorry, Afghanistan. Stamistan? Grabistan? Is that where it was? I would invade that place. Just saying. It's terrible. Stop talking. Sorry.
But I can't.
Grabistan is, yeah.
We can't look the other way. I can't do that. Because the whole world needs
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't look the other way. You guys don't. I mean, you're in the living room. There is no other way to look.
To know that Jim Crow Joe Biden is a liar.
A liar.
He's not only a liar, he's a low down pathological liar.
That's right.
Yeah, which is way worse. Yeah, she has Trump hair. That Silk does the Trump gold blaze. She's had that for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's what he is.
That's
honey.
right. Yeah.
He's one of them type of liars. He'll tell you one lie and then turn around if you don't believe that and tell you another.
Well, I mean, you don't stick to a lie nobody's believing, obviously. I mean, that's just bad lie policy. By the way, we're not talking about Trump, are we? Please don't bring him up.
So he came out the other day and he said that he ended the war.
That's what he said.
And I say, no, you didn't end the war.
Oh.
You cowardly pulled out of a country, creating another war.
That's right.
Oh, all right. So it's a new Afghanistan war, by the way. And apparently you don't need an authorized use of military force. You don't need a declaration of war by the Senate. All you got to do to start another war is pull out of a war. I'm sure they have some new information. This won't just be it's a haven for terrorists, and now we're going to be back, because we're technically still, I don't know if anybody's told them, we're still in the war on terror, technically. No? Do you think no, they probably don't. All right.
That's right. That's right. And he keeps saying that it was a success. But you know what?
Wait, yes, it was a success. We did secede from Afghanistan. We successfully left Afghanistan.
What he did is surrender. He surrendered American lives.
Come on.
He surrendered American weaponry. He surrendered
American weapon. It's actually Afghan weaponry that we gave them a long time ago. Most of it's, I mean, they're prop planes. You know that, right? The planes that they got are prop planes. They're not jets. They have propellers.
American sovereignty, dignity, and pride.
Come on.
He left
Our sovereignty, dignity, and pride. Okay, so the sovereignty thing is obviously he's going to let some of these awful Afghans come over here. Dignity, of course, is because you never surrender. You never leave. You never admit defeat, even though you're like, no, dude, we didn't surrender or lose. We're done here.
Americans behind is what he did.
That's what he did.
Oh, did he? He left them behind? Because Trump left all of them behind. I mean, he could have left last year and taken everybody, right? He had a perfect plan. Remember the perfect plan that Trump had that he never used? So, I mean, it's hard to argue it was a perfect plan then. But, yeah.
So he came out and gave this speech trying to defend himself or whatever.
Okay.
But I got to address something.
Well, let's address it.
I want y'all to
let's
take a look at
address it.
this.
Yeah.
Since March, we reached out 19 times to Americans in Afghanistan.
Yeah. One for almost every year we've been in Afghanistan.
With multiple warnings and offers to help them leave Afghanistan, all the way back as far as March.
Okay, so Silk, I have my questions.
Okay, what's your question?
All right, here comes the question. I'm very excited. What could be the question? Why not 20? 19 times? Why 19? Why not 17? Because Q is the 17th letter of the alphabet.
So when you reached out to Americans, Jim Crow Joe, back in March, did you inform them that you and your regime were allegedly orchestrating a manufactured crisis? Because when I look at what happened and over the...
Hold on. Allegedly orchestrating a manufactured crisis. Yeah, I'm sure they mentioned that in the phone call. Hi guys. It's Carl. I'm one of 37 people the Biden administration has... we're just making phone calls, letting you know that, all that thing about us leaving that everybody thinks is bullshit? Yeah, it's not bullshit this time. No, for real. Yeah, no, it's not bullshit this time. We're really leaving. Stop laughing. I know Trump said he was leaving every single year and then never did. This is new sheriff in town. All right. They don't believe me. Well, you got 18 more tries.
It looked like it was all manufactured.
That's right.
Did you inform those American citizens that you will be instructing the military to pull out of the country?
Did you?
Yes, everyone was leaving. Yes, that's what leaving means. You do realize that one of the reasons why military personnel were killed while we were evacuating people was because they sent in more military to help with the evacuation, and then everybody was leaving. Yes.
Did you do that? Did you inform those Americans that you would use them as pawns and have them looking like sitting ducks? Because that's what's happening.
Would use them as pawns and have them use them as and have them be sitting ducks. Ponds? Did she say ponds? So they're sitting ducks in ponds. So that's a good place for them, I suppose.
That's right.
Did you inform those Americans that the Afghan president will leave the country, cowardly quit, and get ghost on everybody?
Yeah, I don't know how they would have told people that. Did you, in March, did you tell people, yeah, the president's gonna, he's gonna fuck off. This whole thing's gonna fall apart. What? How? All right. I don't know why I got lulled into a false sense of security that the questions they had to ask were drafted by someone else and therefore would be coherent and not straight up fucking crazy. Did you tell them in March that President Ghani was going to steal $168 million and piss off? Huh?
Did you inform them that the Taliban will be taking over the country?
Yeah, they did. That was definitely on the pamphlet. Yeah, that they were passing around. Oh, nice. Another patron. Thank you so much.
Got my questions, girl.
We got our questions.
Because if
Yes, I have some answers for you. At no point did they start to, did they plan on predicting a future they hoped wouldn't happen? Oh, we have trolls all the time. And by the way, don't worry about the trolls anyways. They're just angry that Trump's whole presidency was a waste of time. And they help us further our reach into the interwebs because they spread us further than even like-minded people could.
played it off as if that the country was still going to be in tip-top shape.
Right.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think everyone thought it would be in tip-top shape. I think Trump, that's a Trump phrase, isn't it? Didn't he one that said tippy-top? And then that was like the Q people asked him to say tippy-top? I'm pretty sure, right? Hold on. Trump tippy-top. Yeah. Yeah, that's a Trump phrase. Tippy top, thanks to him. But Trump says the U.S. nuclear arsenal is now tippy top, thanks to. That's not the kind of language that Biden or any adult uses when discussing the functioning structure of a country that isn't even really a country. It's just 12 tribes stitched together on a shitty piece of land.
Who thought us that? If Americans didn't come home in March.
Oh, come on.
Okay, you see what I'm talking about?
That's right.
No, I don't. I really don't. Whose fault is that if Americans didn't come home in March? Well, since Trump's deadline was May, perhaps.
Okay, but that's not all, you all.
That's not all.
It couldn't possibly be. Oh, my goodness. Thank you guys for becoming patrons. Bless you. 3 new patrons. I'm amazed. Are people just re-upping because they dropped out? I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming back. It means a lot. Thanks, by the way. And don't forget, Venmo is a great way to help the show as well. If you use that, because it doesn't, like, the powers that be on the interwebs where we are don't take a cut of that, which is helpful. So just letting you know. And thanks to everybody who does use the Venmo regularly. Bless you. Okay, here we go.
More things. Take a look at this.
90% of Americans in Afghanistan who wanted to leave were able to leave. And for those remaining Americans, there is no deadline.
Okay, you know what? Again,
What?
lies.
Yeah, it's
Because
straight
Joe, it is being alleged. It is out there in the
Uh-oh.
universe, on
Yes, in the universe, it is out there being alleged.
Twitter, on all of these social media platforms that Americans that wanted to leave, it is being alleged that your State Department, along with the White House, is not allowing that. I want to know why. I don't care about.
It is being alleged that they're not being allowed to leave, that the State Department is stopping people from leaving. Okay, first of all, no. The Afghans, the Taliban, are not letting some people leave the country because they don't have passports and they don't have travel documents at all. Those folks are largely at hotels near the airport right now. They are not necessarily Americans, or, I mean, they may be Australians, or they may be, dual citizenship people from any of our allies' countries, but that nobody's alleging that the U.S. State Department is stopping people from leaving Afghanistan, period. Even the people who were like questionable, we were getting them out. Oh, thanks, guys. Thank you for the Patreon support. Bless you. Yes, you can do it annually now if you want to just do one big thing and not worry about it as a monthly payment thing. That's a nice thing that Patreon added to things. So bless you for that. Well, I want to see them finish their thought.
Dead lie. I don't care about a dead lie.
How can he say 90% of Americans when he didn't even know how many Americans was over there? So how can
the 90% that wanted to leave? So those are the ones that were in contact, and those are the ones, by the way, that left via the airport and other stuff. We now know, of course, that in that 10%, and this was just, let me see if I can find the article on this, because I posted it earlier. Yeah, here you go. There were a bunch of these stories. This was on the Daily Beast, but it was carried over by CNN. This happened in a bunch of different places as well. Now, I don't suspect that Diamond or Silk will be aware of either of these things, but the U.S. helped 4 citizens leave Afghanistan overland. Official says that's the ones they're letting you know about. The rest of it was kept kind of a secret and they're still doing more of this. And of course, Diamond and Silk and Sean Hannity and Tucker Carlson, they want the State Department to announce who these people are, where they are, how they're leaving, and who is helping them as they try to leave Afghanistan. Because that's what you do if you're a fucking lunatic who cares more about ratings than human lives. Some shit should be a secret, at least for a time. I mean, do you not understand, the concept of, undercover cops, for example? Yeah, I believe in undercover cops, but they should all have to wear badges and a pinwheel hat and a target on their back. They should be, their jacket should have an actual target. Fucking hell.
Know the numbers.
And see, this is why I say this man needs to be impeached. Now, it is also being alleged.
See what I mean about the impeachment thing is making the rounds, and Afghanistan's got to be the reason for it. This is make it Benghazi, make it stick. They think this has legs until next election. Not for the presidency at all. They know no one will be clamoring about this in the next presidential election. No one. But they do believe they can make it an issue as far as we need control of the House or the Senate so we can, impeach Biden ourselves, that kind of idea. Because the American memory is too short, they think, and so they need to do this. So the whole impeachment talk that she brought up, that Rudy Giuliani brought up, that Sean Hannity is bringing up, it's all over the same stuff. She's reading from the same crib list. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you guys for this Patreon support. It really means a lot. I appreciate that. But they're all talking about the same thing. And this is not an accident. Okay? This is not a mistake. This is not, it's just serendipitous. They all managed, we all just came up with the same thing. Only Murders in the Building, where they all are in the elevator and they're like, what was the garbage bag about? If you've watched the show, it's cute. So yeah, they're not coming up with this on their own. Thank you, Diana.
That he had a phone call with the president of Afghanistan.
By the way, and they keep using this picture, which is him listening to Peter Ducey being a douche and going, this motherfucker, and acting like he's falling asleep or he's crying or he's weak or and even still, he's holding his folder and he looks like he's praying, and that's beta to them, because only the weak pray or seek higher guidance.
He had and it sounds like he was trying to coerce or maybe convince this president to lie.
Yeah.
He was trying to coerce, all right, or convince, either one, this president to lie. Oh, you mean keep up appearances till we get out of the goddamn country so that it wouldn't fall faster and more of our people wouldn't die?
What he was trying to do. So I want to know, where's Nancy Pelosi with her pen and her impeachment papers?
Yeah.
And Mitch McConnell, I don't know if he's working for the deep state snakes. If he wants
Probably. Yeah, probably. I mean, turtles, snakes, borderline.
rats clogging the pipe, or he one of the roaches that get ghosts and scatter whenever the lights come on or when things are brought to light. But why are you all taking...
With the snakes of the thing, or is he like a roach that scatters when the lights come on?
But Jim Crow Joe, with the mess that he done made here, right here in Afghanistan.
Are you part of it?
Right. Oh, I didn't realize you guys were broadcasting from Afghanistan. Oh, that's brave. They moved their whole apartment over there. Have they been there this whole time? Have you guys been in Afghanistan this entire time? Shit, we just all learned something. That's it. I don't know what she's talking about.
Have Americans left there.
That's right.
And how they gonna get up out of there? How?
I don't know. How are you going to get out of there? They've been telling you since March.
Get up out of there. Yeah. And that's an impeachable offense. They were so hung-go with impeaching.
Yeah, you heard that.
President Trump.
Hold on. I have to. They were so what? The phrase, I believe, that you're searching for is gung-ho.
Up there.
That's right.
And how they gonna get up out of there? How they gonna get up out of there? Yeah. And that's an impeachable offense. They were so hung-go with impeaching. Yeah. And that's an impeachable offense. They were so hung-go.
That doesn't sound very beta. First of all, they're in Afghanistan, and they're hung. I'm just saying, this is getting more macho the more they talk about it. They were so hung-go.
Get up out of there. Yeah. And that's an impeachable offense. They were so hung-go with impeaching President Trump.
They were definitely hung-go. Oh, God.
Impeachable offense. They were so hung-go with impeaching President
Trump. Were they so hung-go with the cream of some young guy? Hung-go, which is the sequel to one of my favorite Michael Keaton films. So hung-go. Oh, Lord.
For a phone call. Why isn't this an impeachable offense?
I don't know. What was he saying on his hung-go phone call? No, I think you're right. I think that's the 5 eggs phrase of the day.
5 eggs.
You cannot beat hung-go.
Eat 2 eggs a day. 5 eggs in a month.
That's right.
5 eggs.
Yeah.
5 eggs.
There is no way you're gonna top hung-go. You're so hung-go. There's still a chance. There's still a chance because we do have Dan Bongino, and he tends to say some stupid shit as well. So, and Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity is also, when he gets on his, I need to talk until they bring the clip up, and I didn't even watch the clip, so I don't know what's coming up on my own show that I get paid $30 million a year for, or 90 or whatever the hell he gets. He tends to like, language just kind of refrigerator poetry vomits out of his face.
Yeah. Well, that's not all with Jim Crow Jones.
That's not all.
Y'all take a look at this.
Uh-oh.
The decision to end the military airlift operations at Kabul airport was based on the unanimous recommendation of my civilian and military advisors, the Secretary of State, the Secretary of Defense, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and all the service chiefs and the commanders in the field. Their recommendation was that the safest way to secure the passage of the remaining Americans and others out of the country was not to continue with 6,000 troops on the ground in harm's way in Kabul, but rather to get them out through non-military means.
Okay, what non-military means? Oh, what was it?
Well, not trucks and tanks in the city, not using 6,000 troops to try and secure a city with 4 million people in it. That's what non-military means. And also going out through the civilian airport, dividing it up into military and civilian aircraft, taking different runways, because the longer runways would be needed for the bigger planes. And that would also make sure that they could take people a quarter of a mile from the embassy to the airport instead of 19 miles, 56 kilometers, I think it was an hour, 19 minutes, beg your pardon, through the desert to a military base that anywhere along the way could have been attacked for over an hour travel into the desert. Probably not the wisest. And if people, say, decided at the last minute they wanted to leave because they didn't believe we were actually going, they really would have been caught off guard if they'd have gone to the military base and everyone was gone and they didn't have the civilian airport functioning.
Do call Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeers, ask for Santa's sleigh to go get them. I mean, what non-military means what are you going to use to get the Americans back here on a...
Well, airplanes, not shooting, what he meant. Like, we didn't actually have to fire a shot in anger to get our people out.
But maybe he was going to call up George Clinton and ask for the mothership.
I mean, which one? Like, we want to know.
All right, a Parliament Funkadelic reference. I'll take that. That's fine. Yeah, call George Clinton and ask for the mothership.
No, because I want to know who you're taking your orders from. Because some of these people, listen, you should have kept the military in there and made sure all American citizens was out of there first.
You do realize that the military are made up of American citizens, right?
Absolutely right. But let's think about this for a moment, Simon. Because this is starting to feel like a foreign invasion. Okay? Whenever you have the borders open, you have these individuals being flown here to America. Something is not sitting right in my spirit. And
oh, okay. I see. By the way, that was quick, wasn't it? We got to get all of our Americans out of there, leave the military, keep a military base there, and what it really is about, keep the Afghans out of the United States. We have to get everybody out. The Americans can come here. Anybody with dual citizenship, tap the brakes. And what this is really about, here you go, good old-fashioned xenophobia, racism, and bigotry. Congratulations, Diamond and Silk. You're true conservatives.
Feels like America is being invaded. There's another agenda going on here. And I can see it clear as day.
You can't crisscross the two talking points, cross the streams.
They want to distract you with something. Always look for the false flag. There's something else going on up underneath the surface.
Now it's I'm sorry. Is Afghanistan a 20-year false flag? You guys just learned these words, didn't you?
Oh, but that's not all with Jim Crow Joe.
Oh, no, of course not.
Take a look at this, y'all.
More than 5,500 Americans were airlifted out. And for those who remain, we will make arrangements to get them out if they so choose. As for the Afghans, we and our partners have airlifted 100,000 of them.
So you mean to tell...
Yes, to other countries. You mean to tell me you're bringing 100,000 Afghans here and only 5,000 Americans?
That the Afghan lives are more, you are more concerned about their lives and their livelihoods and their well-being than the American citizens. Because...
Huh? No. How? Okay. Is she gonna say because she thinks because we airlifted them out of the country to like Uzbekistan and Turkey and Qatar and all these other countries? Does she? I mean, they think they flew 100,000 Afghans here, don't they? Is that what they think?
I hear 100,000. Well, why couldn't you get the rest of Americans up out of there?
Why?
Yeah, why couldn't you kick these Afghans and their children to the curb and get these Americans who work in the poppy industry on these airplanes in their place?
This man ain't nothing but a liar, is what he is. I don't think he have any intent on getting the American people.
And where are you?
No, he doesn't have any. He has no intent of getting the Americans out of the... Hold on. No, they're not gonna... Hold on. I gotta open up this window. No, they don't. Not interested? They're not... I don't think Diamond and Silk are interested in reading any news that isn't given to them via fax from the folks at Newsmax to yammer about. Because I guarantee if the ladies actually read this stuff, but if anybody at Newsmax sent them these headlines that they're supposed to talk about and supporting news that, you know, compares and contrasts it, so you look at both, you know, see if it's a legit story or not, they wouldn't have a show.
Taking them to? Where are you resettling them at?
Come on,
okay?
Come on.
Because you've got these different organizations here trying to resettle a lot of these Afghans. What about the American citizens? Before any Afghan should have been coming here to America.
That's right.
All Americans should have been safe.
What? What? I'm sorry. So the Afghans who helped us, who have a price on their head in some cases, and their families, their children, their wives, they should have waited. What? They should still be there forever until the people who don't want to leave were forcibly snatched up by the military and made to leave the country. You ladies are a little hungo for me, I have to say.
That's right.
Okay?
That's
and
right.
with him saying that no country has done more to airlift out the resident of another country than we have done, that's not cute.
That don't sound good. That doesn't look good.
That sounds terrible. They're coming here, guys. They're bringing Afghan. That sounds awful. Nobody should fly that many people out of another country and bring them here. This is terrible.
We will continue to work to help more people leave the country who are at...
I understand, Ava, but I will always sort of lean towards being as gentlemanly as possible. Neither is Satin. This is Silk, and that's Diamond. Diamond oh diamond and Silk oh silk. I don't know why they say that, but they do.
American lives are at risk.
That's right.
The ones that should have been airlifted out of there first.
But I don't know, Joe. I don't know where he's taking it.
I don't know where he. Oh.
And I think maybe his new name should be Taliban, Joe. Or
Taliban. Hold on. Yeah, what now? 1 second. Jesus. Come on.
I don't know where he... Oh.
And I think maybe his new name should be Taliban, Joe. Or
so I prefer Cinnabon Joe, although he's much more into ice cream.
Joe. Because he's turned his back on the American people.
That's
the
right.
American people should have been first. Not the Taliban and not Afghans, but the American people.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't think they know that they're dual citizens who don't want to leave, and that they're Americans that stayed there with their Afghan families that are actually... Does anybody want to tell them that they're Muslims? What do you think their reaction is going to be like? The ones that stuck around?